Good morning, happy Friday. We had the craziest storm last night. The thunder was so loud. Thankfully, it did not wake up little man. But I do hear him stirring, so we're going to be getting our day started very soon. But today, like every other Friday, I am teaching at the studio 9 a.m. class. Brad has an early meeting at work today, so he's already gone. And I'm going to be dropping little man off at school and then running over to the studio and teaching class. I went ahead and stripped the bed because it is once again time to wash the sheets and vacuum, mop the floors in here. Sometimes I work best off of a schedule, sometimes I work best off of vibes. So I do have the feeling it is time to do this again, so we're going to refresh the bedroom. Also, today I am going to be making a smash cake for a friend's 1-year-old's birthday. It's not his birthday yet, that's in March, but I want to do a practice smash cake just to make sure we're good to go. Plus I want chocolate cake. So it's a pretty simple design, but I'm just going to be baking the cake and then trying to get it decorated today. It is currently 7:30, so I'm going to go start breakfast and make my coffee. We have this red light in little man's room that we use when we come in to tuck him in at night or when we need to check on him at night. But when it starts out by flashing, it means the battery is dying. So before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and plug it in so that it can recharge today. And then we can go and make breakfast and make the coffee. It was a very fun class today. I like my Friday morning classes to have a theme or a focus. And so for the month of February, we are focusing on between the chin and the chest. So the neck, the shoulders, the upper back, the chest. Just getting it all loosened up and strengthened and feeling good. So that was fun. So I'm just going to refill my sugar jar because I am going to get started on baking this cake. All right, we've got my go-to for my chocolate cake recipe. 3/4 cup butter, 3 eggs, 2 cups flour, 3/4 cup cocoa powder. Ooh. Tell me I have cocoa powder. I have cocoa powder. Baking soda, baking powder, salt, sugar, vanilla, milk. Brad and little man drink cow's milk. About 5-6 years ago, I worked for a dairy co-op just in their corporate office, but I have never been able to look at cow's milk the same since. It just turns my stomach. So I drink the milk of the almond and it'll be fine to use for the cake. It won't change the flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and start whipping this up. But first,
you always get your pans ready. Whenever you're working with a chemical leavener, baking powder, baking soda, you don't want it to sit around once it's all mixed up, because as soon as it gets wet, it starts to leaven. It starts to create those gas bubbles, which is what gives cake its puff. So you want to go from mixing liquids and dries to putting it in your cake pan to getting it in the oven as quickly as possible, so that as it puffs, it bakes and it holds that lovely spongy consistency, rather than all of the gas bubbles escaping, just sitting around before it goes in the oven. And then by the time it gets in the oven, there's no gas bubbles left to make it fluff. So we're just going to get everything ready to go, and then I'm going to mix it up and we'll throw it in the oven. So while the cake bakes, I am going to make some simple syrup for my coffee. I am out of all my Element packets, and so I'm going to make a peppermint simple syrup. And I'm also going to brew a pot of coffee so that I can throw it in the fridge and have cold iced coffee tomorrow. So I'm just going to do a cup water, 1 1/4 cup sugar, and then a teaspoon of peppermint extract. I've got about 5 minutes left on the cake. I'm going to let the simple syrup cool, and I'm going to go upstairs and make the bed. So I found Little Man sheets in the dryer because I washed them last night and forgot to get them out of the dryer. So went ahead and folded those. It's been Spirit Week at Little Man's school, and one of the days was Funny Sock Day. So I just took this leftover trim I had from a different project and sewed it around the top of his sock. So I'm just going to take that off. It was really cute though. He really liked it. And then I need to let the cakes completely cool before I work on icing them. So it's probably going to be later this afternoon after I pick up Little Man that we'll get to actually decorating the cake. Okay, there's one. I've been wearing these Aloe pants. I need a change. I have a couple different things from Aloe, and I am not in love with any of them. I got them because they do yoga challenges on Instagram that I was very fortunate enough to win. So I would get a gift card and a free subscription to Aloe Moves, which I love Aloe Moves. I've used that quite a bit. But the clothes, they're not my favorite. If you're willing to spend the money and you're looking for good quality, sustainable brand where the clothes are super comfortable, Tavi. Tavi's it. Here we go. Okay. Throw these in the wash. Okay, so much better. These are one of the pairs of pants that I have from Tavi, and I would be wearing them, but they need to go in the wash. So I'm going to go throw them in the wash. I'm going to get these cakes turned out to cool
and I'm going to make the icing and eat some lunch. Well, I was quite hungry, so I just jumped straight to lunch, and it was very good. So now we're on to making the icing. We're making a full butter icing because I don't believe icing should be made any other way. And I know I'm going to have a very happy little boy when he comes home today and finds out there are cupcakes. And you should always sift your confectioner sugar. Okay, so I got the icing made. I made a big batch of coffee so I can just put that in the fridge and then use it over the next couple of days. I have about 40 minutes before I need to go pick up Little Man. I've been working on putting together a manual for training at the studio. So here's one of the pages in black and white from my sad little printer. But I'm just going to take the next 40 minutes to continue to work on that, piecing some more things together. And then we'll pick up Little Man and hopefully get a rest time once we get back with Little Man. So. Little Man's down for rest time. So let me see if I can get this cake finished. One thing that I'm going to change when it comes to the actual cake is I have a circle, like a cookie cutter kind of thing. So once the cake is made, I'm going to cut it down a size using that cookie cutter. But since this is just a test cake, I didn't want to waste any cake. So we're just going to go with this. Nice for a test run. So the things that I'm going to change is I'm going to cut it to a smaller size so that it will look taller and more narrow. I will be doing a crumb coat for the actual cake, and I'll sift my powdered sugar for the icing. And then we'll be putting strawberries on top. And I think that I'll probably throw the piping bag into the fridge for like 5 minutes to firm up the icing a little bit before I go to put on the borders. Besides that, it's okay. I fancied it up a little bit. I threw some sprinkles on there. But I'm going to take a picture of this and put it up on the Facebook group for the neighborhood, see if anyone wants it. We have more than enough cupcakes for us, so we do not need an additional cake. So we'll see if anyone wants a surprise little celebration cake today. Okay, well, I have someone coming to pick up the cake. And then I also have a buyer on Facebook Marketplace for the rest of Little Man's clothes that I didn't get to sell at Once Upon a Child. So that's perfect. The cake's being picked up at 4. I'm meeting the person off Facebook Marketplace at 5. So between 4 and 5, I think little man and I are going to go to the playground because it is a gorgeous day today. So I think we'll go ahead and end things here. Thank you so much for joining me for today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.